I loved doing Toad. This is so silly and fun.
I was gonna ask, what kind of advice or tips would you give to somebody that's trying to follow in your footsteps as far as playing characters and in the gaming industry, basically?
Playing characters in the gaming industry. Well, the first thing that I would recommend if you want to get into voiceover acting is to take a basic acting class. It's to give you an idea, just 101, to give you an idea of what people are, the language that people use, intention, what you're going after, things like that. And I would take a voiceover class. Those are the first, again, a basic voiceover class. Getting familiar with the microphone, knowing how to use a microphone technically, which a lot of people don't know how to do, and I didn't know how to do. I learned on the job. And to also find the things that you love and again, mimic them. And after a while, you will be able to, I promise you, after mimicking all of these things and figuring out how to use your voice in order to do that, you will be able to create your own characters. And you'll come up with a ton of different characters that you have just in your back pocket. And then when people ask you to do something, you can finagle them a little bit. You can come up with, maybe it's a little bit of this guy and a little bit of that guy and bring them together. Or different sounds. You'll be playing with different sounds, things that you can create. So I actually, if you want to do voiceovers for video games, I recommend you play a lot of video games. I know, that's a bummer. You're not going to like that answer, huh? Play a lot of video games and listen to the actors, and you'll see what they're looking for.
Would you like?
I'm totally lost. There you are. Okay.
Would you like to be in another major game, for example, Gears of War?
Would I like to be in another major game?
Yeah, since they have a lot of dialogue in that game.
Gears of War. Yeah. Yeah, are you gonna hire me? Totally. I would do it. Sign me up right now. Yeah, I like the dialogue-driven. I mean, they're fun. The story-driven games are fun to do. Yeah.
Hey. So I've actually been a huge Halo fan for a while now, and I never actually thought I would ever be able to meet someone that is actually very essential to the creation of the game. And
here I am!
Yeah. But I actually had a question for you.
Yes.
In the entirety of your Halo career, what is one line that you loved and one that you always remember that you kind of like a lot? And if so, could you recite it?
A line that I loved, and then a line, did you ask me two questions? A line that I loved and one I'll never forget. Welcome home, John. It's probably one of my favorite lines. The last line she says in Halo 4. I also like the line, and I don't think I'm going to misquote it, because I went, this cave is not a natural formation. Really? Really, Cortana? Those are two of my favorites. Did I misquote it? Can anybody help me? Did I misquote it? I have to look up. Yes?
Hi.
Hi!
I'm Homer.
I remember you, Homer.
Hi. So, has anyone asked you about Cortana's character in Halo 5?
Has anyone asked me about Cortana's character in Halo 5? What about it?
Like, what's your opinion on the difference between...
holy bonkers, what happened to you, Cortana?
Yeah.
And what do I think about it? Is that what we're... Well, it's fun to do. And it's something different, a different path that this character's going. I'm really curious to see how it gets resolved. In the further story. I'm very curious. I'm just as curious as you are, probably, to find out. Yeah. It was fun to do. It was really fun to do. Yeah.
Hi. Would you be able to recite some Toad?
Would I do some Toad?
Yeah.
Most of, as I recall, what Toad did was going around corners and wowee, things like that.
How was it like working with the Rooster Teeth guys?
What was it like working with the Rooster Teeth guys? lovely. I was in Seattle, they were in Texas, and the first time, I wonder if they remember this, the first time they recorded me, they gave me the monologues for Salem at the very beginning of Ruby. I'm the mysterious narrator in the very beginning of Ruby. And they gave me these monologues, and I did one, and then I didn't hear anything on the mic, my headphones, and I said, hello? And they were just laughing. I'm like, I said hello, and they're like, Jen Taylor just read this line, so awesome. So that was my first interaction with them. They're great, they're lovely. It was fun to do. There's generally 2 or 3 different people on the line with me when I have worked with them, and it was really fun to do the monologues. I'm really curious to see how now that I've been revealed, how things shift, you know? If I have any dialogue with anyone, I don't know. That'll be fun. They're lovely guys, yeah.
Hello.
Hello, where are you?
Hi.
Hi.
First of all, I love Ruby.
You love Ruby.
Love Ruby, love Ruby.
Oh,
My
so I'm
question
really
is,
the bad guy, aren't I?
Well, it doesn't matter, it's so awesome
Okay,
anyway.
all right.
So Christian, how do you get into something in voice acting? Like, what would you recommend somebody, if say for instance, they want to get into this kind of field?
How do you get into voice
Like,
acting?
yeah, what would be like the steps? Like, say for instance, my daughter, like she loves anime. And
Yeah.
she wants, and once they go into doing the whole, in English dubs, like, how do you get in there? Like, how do you put yourself out there?
She's saying, how do we get into voice acting, in particular in anime? I was saying before, taking a basic acting class and a basic voiceover class are 2 very important things first. And if you love something in particular, really study it. I was saying earlier, play lots of video games if you like video, because you're going to hear what people are looking for, and same with anime. And then the way to get into it is, at a certain point, you have to make a reel. And a reel is a sample of all of the things that you've done and that you can do. It used to be harder, but now everybody has a mic on their phone. You could do it on your phone, even, you know, when you're starting out, before you buy equipment. I have a studio in my house, but I didn't back in the day, you know. And then you generally need to find an agent to listen to your reel. Not always. You could appeal directly to the companies that make the games that you love, to make the games that you love, or that make the anime that you love. Say, listen, I'm really into this, I want to do this. With Rooster Teeth, I told Bernie over and over again, I want to work with you guys. I want to work with you guys. I want to be in Red versus Blue. And he was like, I don't know how we can put you in Red versus Blue. That's weird. I said, okay, well, something. And a year later, he called me and said, I found that something. So, yeah.